Hey guys, it's Godbars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 284th episode of my series, where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it has, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. So Little Simz is an artist that, despite barely being in the game for a decade, has built up a prevalent, well-rounded, and extremely commendable discography for herself. And it isn't just that she's an impressive, talented artist to come out of UK hip hop. In my opinion, Simz is one of the most exciting and necessary voices currently doing it. I believe this is somehow only the third project I've covered that's from outside of the United States, with the first being the one UK album I discussed previously, Original Pirate Material, by grime and garage rap legend Mike Skinner, better known as The Streets. And the second was Australian pioneers of sampling the Avalanches, with their masterpiece Since I Left You. Though I do have another essential from Great Britain coming up in my next 2000s group, so be sure to keep an eye out for that one. Simz dropped her debut studio full-length in 2015, with A Curious Tale of Trials plus Persons, and was subsequently followed up the next year with 2016's Still in Wonderland, before taking a few years to craft her 2019 Gray Area LP, which was the first project of hers I was introduced to personally. That album had already cemented her as a promising star to watch, but when she came out with 2021, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert here, she absolutely blew everyone's expectations out of the water, delivering an unforgettable, truly epic piece of conscious hip-hop that without a doubt was a top contender for Best Rap Album of that year, alongside projects like Pray for Haiti by Mac Hami, A Martyr's Reward by the late underground pioneer Ka, By the Time I Get to Phoenix by Injury Reserve, Backwashes, I Lie Here with My Rings and My Dresses, Westside Gunn's Hitler Wears Hermes 8, Side B, Genesis Owusu's Smiling with No Teeth, Wiki's Half God, and Haram by Armand Hammer and the Alchemist. However, while there's plenty of diversity amongst that top-tier collection of LPs, I would say the vast majority of them tend to veer on the darker side, and while they go about it in completely different ways, the fourth studio LP from Little Simz here is a more uplifting, grand, and empowering endeavor, and she makes that more than apparent right from the opening track, Introvert, which genuinely may be the single most epic and spine-chilling intro to come from any album in 2021. It begins with these immersive drums and swelling horns that almost have a medieval feel to them, and that snugly fits in with a lot of the themes and lyrical imagery that Simz employs in her opening verse, which I have to share since it's absolutely stellar. Just like everything else about this song, especially the captivating and immaculately directed music video. After the slick tempo change and killer beat drop, Little Simz heads off this battle cry rapping, "The kingdom's on fire, the blood of a young messiah. I see sinners in a church, I see sinners in a church. Sometimes I might be introvert, there's a war inside, I hear battle cries. Mothers burying sons, young boys playing with guns. The devil's a liar, fulfill your wildest desires." Now, I don't want to be the one to doctor this, but if you can't feel pain, then you can't feel the opposite. The fight between the yin and yang's a fight you'll never win. I study humans, that makes me an anthropologist. I'm not into politics, but I know it's dark times. Parts of the world still living in apartheid. But if I don't take this winter's flight, that's career suicide. Though I should have been a friend when your grandma died. I see the illness eat my aunt lying in her bed. I see her soul rising as her body gets closer to death. I have to give a chunk from her second verse as well, since it's just as lyrically potent, starting with, "I need a license to feel, internal wounds and I'm not trying to be healed. I sabotage what we are trying to build, 'cause of feelings I keep inside but it's time to reveal. I hate the thought of just being a burden. I hate that these conversations have surfaced. Simz the artist or Simbi the person? To you I'm smiling, but really I'm hurting. I dedicate my life and gave my heart over 20 something years, left wondering how I even feel or was it even worth it. I bottle up and then spill it in verses. One day I'm wordless, next day I'm a wordsmith. Close to success, but to happiness I'm the furthest. At night I wonder if my tears will dry on their own, hoping I will fulfill Amy's purpose. Angel said don't let your ego be a disturbance. Inner demon said motherfucker you earned this. Like they strip you of everything you're deserving, realize there is a prison in us, we are conditioned as fuck. Man, it's like they can't sleep till our spirit is crushed. How much fighting must we do? We've been fearless enough. All we see is broken homes here and poverty, corrupt government officials, lies and atrocities. How they talking on what's threatening the economy, knocking down communities to re-up on properties. I'm directly affected, it does more than just bother me. Look beyond the surface, don't just see what you want to see. My speech ain't involuntary, project with intention straight from my lungs. I'm a black woman and I'm a proud one. We walk in blind faith not knowing the outcome, but as long as we're unified, we've already won. She keeps this high standard of conceptual, personal songs, going basically from front to back on Sometimes I Might Be Introvert, from very progressive tracks about the importance of a woman's beauty and self-worth, to more vulnerable and personal moments like I Love You, I Hate You, where Simz breaks down the rocky and complicated relationship she has with her father, and shares a number of pretty mature insights over easily what's one of the best beats in this entire thing, and there's a pretty sizable pool of quality material to pull from. This arguable magnum opus was largely produced by frequent Little Simz collaborator Inflow, along with a couple other talented names like Jack Wabb or Miles James. When it comes to guest appearances on here, while the LP is over an hour long and jam-packed with material, the only featured artists who show up are Cleo Sol and Avanyar. For honorable mentions that didn't quite make the final cut for this pick, I still want to give a nod to tracks like Woman, Two Worlds Apart, Little Q Part 2, Speed, Standing Ovation, I See You, Point and Hill, Fear No Man, How Did You Get Here, and Misunderstood. Then with my overall top 3 favorites, I definitely would have to go with Introvert, Rolling Stone, and I Love You, I Hate You. Thank you for watching my 284th video. Next up, we have an absolute pioneer of modern, grimy New York hip-hop. So look for that upload, and if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what your favorite moments are off this UK hip-hop masterwork. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alright.